what happened when they weren't playing that fast sort of style that they were used to. They need to come out with all the fire right now in this first game to catch FaZe off guard and hopefully get a 3-0. If it goes longer than 3 maps, in my opinion, FaZe is going to claw their way back into it regardless and win the series.
Fair enough. In terms of Uplink, a lot of people kind of refer to it as it can be that swing game, right? It can give you that momentum to maybe force a reverse sweep. Both teams are yet to drop an Uplink this event. They've both been playing fantastic. If you had to predict the Uplink map, which way are you going, Matt?
I think I'm going towards FaZe right now. I believe Attach, Zuma, and Enable are all in like your top 5 or 6 KDs in Uplink. Attach has like 4 throws and carries a game. He's just playing exceptional this event. But I think the thing that stands out to me the most for this series is FaZe's search and destroy. They're just so efficient in every single game type. It's going to be very hard for E United if they don't come out hot, like TP was saying.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll take a look at today's schedule, though, so you know exactly when your favorite teams are going to be playing throughout Championship Sunday. As I mentioned, we're kicking things off with FaZe Clan versus E United. The second game on main stage will be our other winner semi. We have Team Envious going toe-to-toe with Luminosity Gaming, then a losers round 6 match before our winners final, then losers final, and of course our grand final at 5:30 p.m. That one could potentially be a big one. We may have a double set series. What is it like as a player to play in a double series, but kind of best of 5? Does it really take a lot out of you?
It really does, especially going in as the winners team. If you lose that first series, it can be a bit nerve-wracking, but it all sort of depends on what map sets you have, your side picks, all that, you know, sort of goes into play before that first series started. So a bit more strategy going into that double final, if you want to call it that, if it goes to that. But it's a lot of games for sure.
Obviously, FaZe, no strangers to that. We've seen them do it several times. I mean, you go back to AW Columbus Open, the first event in Advanced Warfare. They were able to win 2 best of 5s against Optic Gaming, and they took that crown. Are they going to go to the losers bracket? That's a whole different kind of question for me. You look at this map, obviously, you talked a little bit about the Uplink. Chance, I'm curious to get your opinions. Hardpoint for FaZe. We heard Glacier say it on Friday, hey, I feel like this is a shaky game type for us. It hasn't been our best. They're currently sitting with a 50% win-loss ratio this event when it comes to Hardpoint, as opposed to E United, 87%. I mean, for E United, this first map has to be huge, right?
Yeah, most certainly. It's one of those things, FaZe, when they do win, they're having a player go off, and they've been able to make that happen. I think Attach went on like a 10 streak yesterday on Breakout, and that's just to help give their team the win. That being said, one of the only losses we've seen so far from E United was the first map they had on main stage, and that was against Splice, and they got the hand. So similar kind of thing, E United, if they come in with any sort of nerves, it's not going to be very good against FaZe, and FaZe will take full advantage of that. They've been in this situation plenty of times.
I mean, we'll take a look at our Hardpoint leaderboard now, and it's an interesting stat to note. E United has only lost 1 respawn. Just 1 respawn this entire event, and they find themselves here in the winners bracket semis. TB, anything jump out to you here when you're looking at this Hardpoint leaderboard?
I mean, Gunless, that's a damn good KD. He's got a lot of hardpoint time as well and a lot of defense. I guess it's a bit surprising that Assault is topping that leaderboard, actually, with how early they went out in this tournament at the top 20. So interesting to see him at the top Hardpoint KD.
And I'm just looking at Slacked right now. 10 games in, a 1.27 KD in almost 99 seconds of time per map in the hill. That is absolutely ridiculous. He's having such a great event.
It's worth pointing out, that's with the most games played on that list for the game mode as well. So, I mean, Assault does top the leaderboards, but he's only played 5.
He has half as many games as Slacked.
Yeah, not nearly as impressive. Slacked has been at that level consistently, and that's pretty insane. That is an MVP-like performance so far.
Also have John up there, second on that list. MVP, of course, from the last Call of Duty World Championship. But as I said, the next game on main stage, FaZe Clan versus E United. We're excited to kick off Championship Sunday, and we can send it down to our casters for the game.
Great stuff, gentlemen. We're ready to kick it off. Day 3, Championship Sunday. The yellow's out. God,
it's significantly worse than the orange.
It really is.
Now that I see it on camera, I mean, it's really jarring.
Look how nicely it matches the yellow.
It doesn't really match that yellow at all. It's kind of a different shade of yellow.
I tried so hard.
I imagine it's very difficult to find a yellow blazer.
I scoured the internet for weeks. But all right, we're getting into it. And this is interesting. I know we were kind of going through the stats this morning, and they talked about some of the pre-show, obviously. But this is set up to be a battle, man. But I think the thing that stands out the most, beyond stats, let's just talk about experience on the main stage. And you had some points that you think fit this bodes well for FaZe.
Look, I think E United, their match against Splice yesterday, they came in, they were really nervous. Saw Burns this morning while I was grabbing some coffee. He kind of felt the same way. They were a little bit nervous coming into their first match. 3 of the 4 guys, first time ever playing on the main stage at an MLG event. I think if they come out nervous here, it's not going to go like how the Splice series went. FaZe will kill them. They'll put them away before they even have a chance to come back.
Well, talk to me. You know, you've competed in games before. You obviously coach quite a bit as well. You kind of understand players on a level that most casters cannot, most fans cannot. What is the, okay, so we know what a big deal it is to play on the main stage, but I want to know the two differences between one, playing on Championship Sunday versus like a Saturday, and two, playing against a team like FaZe, crowd favorites, versus something like Splice. It's a big difference, right?
I think it actually is more to the opponent than the day.
Okay.
Like, I always felt like, at least like as a player and then even, you know, coaching and whatnot, that like a tough Saturday night match was actually significantly harder than an early morning Sunday one. Just because, you know, it's a long day, the end of the day, you have to just kind of get that blood going for that match yet again. You can carry that momentum into Sunday. I feel like, you know, when your toughest match is this Sunday morning, it's tough to get going for an inexperienced team. So I'm looking to see FaZe come out really strong in this first Hardpoint.
I'm curious, too, with FaZe. You know, I saw some tweets coming out of Attach, Clay, you know, going back and forth about seeding, who's going to have side picks, seeming to not be focusing as much just on map 1, getting top 3, right? I'm curious if that distraction provides anything at all.
Yeah, and Hardpoint's been the one game mode that FaZe has kind of been lackluster in. I mean, they've been dominant in Uplink. I mean, we'll give you guys some of the stats later, but they have just been lights out in that game mode, and their search and destroy has been on point as well. So if they do win this map, you look to put them in a very good spot to win this series.
And talking about E United, we're going to kick things off with Gunless. They started out a little bit slow in the Game 1 Hardpoint yesterday versus Splice. Let's see if they can get it going earlier here, and possibly, you know, their best player, certainly, Gunless, has been a monster throughout the past couple events.
Yeah, and from what we've seen, you know, stat-wise, you're going to see Gunless and Pristini. They're going to be running K-Bar mostly. Silly will actually transition through all the weapons. So he's gotten RPR, ERAD, NV4, K-Bar, and then Arcides will be the NV4 player. It seems like all the teams here have at least one guy who primarily runs the NV4.
All right, well, the battle for mid-control continues, but, you know, the big rotation going to be the one to Turbine. You can see the red arrows popping up on the map. They've got that left side control, at least from spawn. Yes, the time is going in the favor of E United right now. But let's check out Pristini if we can. Never mind, he ends up falling. He was on a 3 streak, starting to build a little bit. But with 10 seconds left, now's the big setup. And look at the mini-map. You see the control for FaZe.
I mean, this is great for FaZe. You're going to have Attach actually inside the center hardpoint. He takes the rest of that time towards the end there, gets the score very close, and they get control of Turbine. They pick up some of these kills on the rotation. They're in a very good spot. You see Silly take out Clay there. They're trying to set up a pinch at United. You see how far away the FaZe guys are spawning. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Attach and Enable to lock this down.
Yeah, they have to find some crucial kills here. It's going to be just Attach trying to play his life and maybe work a flank. This is nice. I like this play because now they can 4-hit, right? Instead of him playing some sort of crazy 1v4. He's now able to push in, but with 2 dropping, Arcides, Pristini coming up big on the kill feed, and Turbine now in control of the United.
And that was a picture-perfect break. They came from both sides. You had Silly on the top side of your mini-map pick up 1. The rest of the players flooding through the bottom side. You see how well they adjusted those spawns in their favor. You had FaZe adjusted those spawns in their favor. You had FaZe spawning all the way out by the next hardpoint. It was a very good break there from E United.
Interesting point. This was the Game 1. That's what they did really well. TP was talking about the fact that he was impressed with the patience to 4-hit together and pinch. They got the pinch and the spawn out going so well throughout the course of the map, and they beat E United by, I believe it was 100+ points. It was a really strong outing from them in the Game 1. I want to see if they can keep this going versus FaZe.
So FaZe gets the rotation yet again, and you know, we'll see if they're able to hold on to it. But E United, they cannot bank on being able to break these hard points against FaZe. Maybe you're able to do it against a team like Splice, you know, some other opponents here. You're not going to be able to do it against a team like FaZe. And right now, they're marching right back into this game. Everybody on FaZe on streaks.
But what's interesting, look at this. So you have, well, it was a lead momentarily for E United, but look, you have Gunless at 1-8, Silly at 2-6, so that's a 3-14. And Gunless, when he's one of your lead guys, and people talking about him being the breakout player, you mean you heard it from the likes of Aches, Attach, talking about how good this guy is. 1-8's not the start you want on Championship Sunday.
No, without question. And you know, we talked a little bit about in the pregame, you know, the nerves and whatnot. Against a team like FaZe, this series could go like in your own head. Like when you're up there, it can be like, I feel like it's over in a minute. You know, if they do not start to like slow things down, you know, get composed a little bit, FaZe can just kind of take this game out of control.
And you know you're not going to have the crowd to really feed off at all. Whereas first Splice, at least, you know you're going to have some teams. We're in North America, obviously. They're going to be rooting for E United for the upset. it's going to be a very FaZe-heavy crowd. So they're going to need to muster the energy, get the momentum, the adrenaline going on their own. And right now, FaZe, though, starting to take control as we're watching Attach. 9-4 on a 4 streak, 30 or so seconds in the hard point. The streak do continue. Tries to gun a second there in observation, but not able to finish the kill.
Now you see Zuma just going to come through the mid there. He's going to pick up one as they try and go over towards Drill. And man, this has been ugly for E United at the start here. They're going to spawn all the way across on the other side of the map. 23 seconds left in this hard point. They have to contest Maven. They're down by so much. They can't just let this garbage time go to FaZe.
And what do you think it means, though, for a team like E United when you pull off that reverse sweep last night in a big match to get top 6? Does that sort of give you belief through the rest of the tournament? Like, even if you lose this game, when you're like, guys, we've been here. You know, we've been down 0-1, we've been down 0-2. We know we can bring it back. Do you have that feeling kind of throughout the rest of the tournament?
You have a different feeling against FaZe as you would against Splice.
Yeah.
When you go up against Splice, obviously, you know, a very talented team, but the E United guys can definitely believe they're going to come back against a team like Splice. When you go up against a team like FaZe, I don't think they'll have that same mindset, especially with a blowout loss here in game number 1 if things tend to go the way that we see them trending right now.
And, you know, as much as EU continues to get closer and closer to North America, and we've seen some nice finishes, there is some difference between your top 1 and 2 in North America and your top 1 and 2 in EU. I mean, FaZe on another level, and you can see it right now. 100-point advantage. Everyone sitting at even or positive. The slang battle going completely their way. This has been a beautiful game 1 for
It's just the amount of pressure that Attach and Zuma put on. It's a lot like how it was in Advanced Warfare. Like, they just keep coming at you and coming at you and coming at you and challenging you to just win those gun battles over and over again. And not many teams can do it. And I think what you've seen in this first hardpoint is that they're going to take the game to United. They're not going to let United, you know, just kind of sit back and just play with a little bit, you know, less pressure than usual. They are going to take the game right to them. They're going to challenge them. If FaZe is going to lose this game, they're going to lose it in a play style that fits them.
Talk to me about Attach. You know, you were telling me this morning that you kind of feel he's already put on an MVP performance if they take this tournament. What's been so special about him?
Oh, just the fact that he's been putting up these insane slaying numbers like you're seeing right now at 19 and 6 with the objective time. I mean, right now, picking up these kills inside of the hard point, it is 201 and counting to 66. Earning them streaks as well. And when we go over to Uplink, I mean, his stats are just silly. I mean, you know, he's putting up some of the best, you know, scores in terms of actually putting points on the board for his team, and he's in the top 3 in slaying.
Silly stats, silly as well, but not in a positive light, as he is 7 and 17. He and Gunless struggling quite a bit to get something going, and I agree with your sentiment. You can't have a slow start against FaZe because they will bury you.
And up until the Splice series, E United is undefeated in respawn game modes. That hard point they lost to Splice is the only one they had lost through pools and in that winner bracket round 1 match. So you are seeing as we get later into the tournament, these respawns are not going to be as easy for E United to take.
And what's scary is this is the hard point they took yesterday, and you are just getting throttled here. 239 to 69. FaZe Clan coming out hot on Championship Sunday, and E United now would have to mount one of the more absurd comebacks we've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, with streaks on some of the players for FaZe, it's highly unlikely. You see Attach, he does have his payload ability as well. It's going to be 2 kills in favor of FaZe. A lot of time left on this hard point. Just need to fly in here, trade these kills effectively. They're able to take this game here.
That final kill should lock it down. 2 ticks away. Game 1 goes to FaZe.
Man, you talk about a bad loss for United in game 1, maybe shaking some of the nerves off they started with yesterday. That is not the way you do it. I mean, getting 100-point clubbed in game 1, you get the guys on FaZe yelling at you on the other side of the stage. It almost feels like the walls in the building are just kind of closing in on you, so to speak.
And it's just, okay, yes, they did lose the game 1 to Splice, and they brought it back, but 1, they did not lose in that fashion. They didn't get spanked like that. And then, yes, you do have the trash talk coming from FaZe, the veterans, Clay getting hyped. It's just a completely different
It's a different
scenario.
atmosphere.
It is, absolutely.
It's just a different beast when you're going up a team like FaZe. And no, Clay is relentless. I mean, you're going to hear his voice the entire day on the main stage. He's going to let you hear it every time they beat you bad. And it just gets in your head a little bit.
Well, let's take a look at some of the replays through this one. Early on, you know, focusing on E United, they had a pretty nice start, had a little bit of a lead, but after that, it was all FaZe. You know, we were on with their players a lot because they were just crushing.
I mean, look at the score at this moment in time. The first time we go to drill, you know, E United has 60 points. They finished at what, like 80?
Yeah.
They got like 20 seconds, the whole second rotation on hard points. About as bad as it could go.
Well, we've seen those, I guess, stringing together perfect kills from FaZe a lot of times. You know, you get the blowout versus Splice, or what was it, the matchup versus Orbit at PSX, where they basically had 3 perfect hard points in a row to cement a comeback. We know when they get heated up and on fire and you see all these players on streaks, we know they're capable of it. They can play flawlessly. They have all the talent in the world. Can they keep it going the rest of the
Think about how crazy it is. From drill all the way to that hangar. You know, the drill, Hardpoint, then back to bridge, to turbine, then to hangar. United gets 22 points.
And okay, so that's what's interesting because, you know, we've talked to some pro players that describe the gameplay that you'll see from United. They like to play fast. They like to fly at you. They like to disrupt setups, not really let you get control. If you don't play that patiently, though, and hit together as 4, or you're playing against a team that's set up as well as FaZe, I mean, it just feels like you're headbutting a wall over and over and over again and just feeding them streaks.
There's a difference, though. I mean, we talked a little bit about it with Clay. You know, I've kind of, you know, chatted with him over the last year or so, you know, just kind of looking at some of their gameplay. And there's a difference between fast and frantic. Like, there's a drastic difference. You know, when you're playing fast, you can still play together. You know, you try and get those pinches. You're just able to coordinate on another level at a faster pace than another team.
Yeah.
The frantic play is when you're just going fast and one guy is just hitting, you know, the right side and has no teammate there to trade. Then you're having guys push up the middle all alone, no position that you can, you know, trade these kills out effectively. That's what you saw in United in game number 1.
And sometimes, you know, if you're feeling really, really confident, your shot's on point. We've seen the frantic play style work at times. There it did not. You got to think the confidence takes a shot a little bit for United now after getting beat up that much in game 1. Thankfully, though, you're going to a game 2 search and destroy. Things are going to slow down a little bit. You have some time to recoup here, and we'll see if they can bounce back because S&D and the 2Ks, I mean, that's where they've really done some dirty work.
But the respawns here have been their key game modes.
Yeah.
They've gotten here via the respawn game modes, the Hardpoints and the Uplinks. That's where United has been strong. FaZe has been dominant in search and destroy.
They haven't lost one yet, have they?
I think they have an 83% win rate. I think they lost one yesterday to 3G.
Okay.
83% win rate in S&D. Very strong for FaZe this event.
Well, FaZe looking poised to keep moving here through the winner's bracket of our championship bracket. We've hopped into the rig draft now as players are getting ready to go in our search and destroy. Who's your standout player here in search for FaZe Clan?
I look at Attach and Zuma. You know, we talked a little bit about Zuma the other day. You made up a stat where he gets first blood, and he gets first blood at 80% of the time, and it actually proved out to be somewhat accurate. Somewhat accurate.
Ben counted, it was 75%, so it was darn close.
Yeah, but I think, you know, Zuma, whether he can get those first bloods, he can be very effective. I do look at United, though. There's a ton of pressure in this search and destroy for them, and I think if they do win it, you know, you go into the uplink, that's where you're successful in the respawn game modes, they can turn this series around. I think they lose here, though. That's where I'd really be worried. You know, going into that game 3, you're not going to be able to blow out FaZe 18-1 or so like they did Splice.
Yeah, that was one of those rebound games where as soon as it happened, like, yes, we know reverse sweeps happen frequently. We saw it a lot, especially last year. I think with the 4 different game modes was a big part of that as well. But when you take a look at it yesterday, I mean, that as soon as you saw them just pound out to that huge lead, you felt like, oh my God, they can do this. It's not like it was a nail biter. I just don't think it's possible to beat FaZe like that, especially with the way they're playing.
No, I don't think so either. And I think, you know, you look at, you know, early today. I mean, like, I looked at some of the stats here. I got here early this morning. You know, Attach, you look at him, Slacked, Apathy, like those are your top 3 players I think we have here this weekend thus far. Attach has just been incredible in all game modes.
Yeah, and speaking about Slacked a little bit, I know you and I talked a lot about what the missing piece was for Luminosity, what they needed, you know, a leader or someone to step up, and you had mentioned Slack's the one that really needs to go big, and he has been just a monster here this week.
Well, I mean, you looked at that Luminosity team when they formed, we were like, oh, this is going to be a team top 3, top 4 all year. They could not win a search and destroy in Vegas. They come here, they're winning their S&Ds. They're a very scary team in respawn.
And this is kind of the Luminosity I think we expected, right? Now looking to be playing in form. We'll see what they can do, because their matches will be coming up later on today. But let's hop into game 2. And we're going to be on with Clayster to kick things off.
Yeah, now search and destroy for FaZe thus far. We talked a little bit about, you know, an 83% win rate. They've only lost 1. That was to Team 3G. Their best players on this one are going to be, you know, Zuma. He has a 1.5 KD. That's good for number 5 overall in the tournament.
When Zuma's doing well in search, FaZe does well in search is how it seems to play out in my mind. But it's Clay finding one with the pistol there early on. Second pushing to his left. Finds it. Third in front. Can't get it done. 1v1. Going to go the way of United. Clay thought he had a 3-piece there lined up with the pistol. Solid shots, but not enough to get the round win.
It's a really fast round here as Gunless able to take out the last 2 players. And you know, we talked about the standout performers for FaZe in search and destroy. Gunless has been the standout player for United in the game mode.
Well, let's see what Gunless has up his sleeves as we get deeper into this game 2. Offense now for FaZe Clan. Enable will be your bomb carrier. Clay still going to be rocking this sniper here, looking for something top window, see if he can get vision, but it's going to be Enable finding your first blood. Zuma there to back him up.
With the advantage, you would expect FaZe to just try and get bombed down here, but it's going to be 2 kills exchanged by E United. It's going to be RCD, the only one alive, as he's going to push up on a bomb. Not going to let FaZe get this one down. He's got players jumping down him, able to get one. Good trade there by FaZe at the end.
And RCD's, I mean, that's a 1v2 you kind of feel is winnable because you know Clay has the sniper in hand. Maybe if he can find 1 kill, he's in a 1v1. But look, it's the pistol that comes up clutch. Thankfully, he only needed to get 1 or 2 bullets in him to close that one out. Clayster already with 3 pistol kills to get this one going early on. How do you feel about him using the sniper pretty much solely here so far?
I mean, look, we've seen him use the sniper in the past. He's done some very nice things with it. I think we need to see more sniper play. I think there are some good line of sight areas where you can make the sniper effective.
Okay, well, it's going to be Gunless now coming across the middle, Matt. He should have the flank onto 1 as he is chasing on through. This is going to be very timing-oriented. He can't slip through, and now it's just Silly and Pristini in a 2 versus 4. 1 in front, almost lines them both up, but not able to do it. Now Pristini has to clutch. He's got Zuma and Attach to go up against, just has to defend this bomb. He's playing front blue. Look at the minimap as there is a pinch coming in. He did see 1, wins the first gunfight. Now going to be a 1v1. He's tagged up. Does Zuma try to push him? They're going to meet at the edge, and Zuma clutches up. 2-1 advantage for FaZe.
FaZe, you know, they cut a little bit scary there. They weren't in position to trade that effectively. We saw Mindfreaks fight a clutch, a pretty similar situation yesterday. But Zuma wins the gunfight there, defuses the bomb. Could be a big momentum round for FaZe.
Speaking of Mindfreak, it's crazy how close.
And people don't understand how hard it is to play all the way through open, and then once you get there to play all the teams in pools who have been playing against top competition all tournament long. I mean, in Australia, they don't get the best of practice, you know, against top flight teams. So they actually really impressed me this weekend as well.
Yeah, they certainly have. But looks like Zuma is going to be pushing to top window, looking to challenge across, takes the first bullet, and wisely going to back away and play his life. Clayster has the snipe out yet again, trying to look under bike path and see if he can get vision on anyone. But it's the Superstar Gunless for E United that finds the first blood.
We'll see how FaZe plays out of this, being obviously man down. They do have Clay all the way in the back. He's going to try and just rely on picking up a kill here, but it's going to be attached, poking out towards mid-map. Not going to win that A-bar versus NV4.
Exactly, and that's the big thing there. That NV4, that little bit of extended range is just enough, and E United bounce back to tie things up 2-2. That's just, I mean, is it a gunfight that Attach feels he can win? Sure, but you're just at such a disadvantage.
I mean, you're trying to even up the man count at that time. I mean, that's the first player you see. It's I know a pretty 50-50 gunfight, but you don't know if the guy on the other end has the NV4 or K-bar. I mean, so many players using the K-bar, you just kind of have to take the chance there. And Attach loses it. And that, it doesn't end up losing FaZe the round, but obviously it makes it a lot easier for E United to keep pushing that man advantage.
All right, well now E United will go to offense here in round 5. Pristini, your bomb carrier, he sees 2 in the back, wants to just go for the quick plan and get it down. The rest of his team you can see backing up, worried about a potential flank, but Clayster are going to find him as soon as the bomb gets planted. Arcides though finds one on their own side, but now it's Gunless by himself quickly. You get the quick plant, but your team gets erased just as quickly.
I feel like so many teams make this play, and I just don't understand why. I mean, to go right up to the bomb and get it down right away over a bike path without like getting position, trying to get a pick early. You just let the bomb carrier die as soon as he puts it down. And then, you know, once that happens, another player has to rotate down bike path completely wide open. He gets picked off. You're not able to get any line of sight in the bomb. Doesn't work out in your favor.
Well, there was no one to cover him whatsoever. No. I mean, when I looked at the minimap there, as soon as he was getting it planted, there were 2 players basically watching the flank. At least that's what it looked like. They were both in the back.
Yeah.
No one to cover him. So as soon as he gets that plant off, he's dead. You're down a man, the rest of it collapses.
It's great to get bombed down, but you need the positioning first. I mean, if you don't have the positioning, it means nothing.
Well, that grenade didn't go exactly where Attach wanted it. Zuma, first blooded here. We know how aggressive he likes to play. He gets dropped, and it's going to be Enable with the NV4 trying to play up close and personal. Not going to win that gunfight. You got the boxes covered with the K-bar. Pristini wins it. You've got Camo with Clayster, but not going to probably use that in a 2v4 unless you can even up the odds, which he may very well do. He sees him in the corner. The timing there. Clay almost finds the corner. The timing there. Clay almost finds another one. Now in a 1v3. Finally will fall, but he will have that camo for future rounds.
Yeah, that's tough. He has that nade cooked out at that moment in time. If he has his gun out, he might be able to pick up that second kill, but TRC is coming over the top, and that's what happens. I mean, when you die on that bomb site right away, just allows the other team to pinch from both sides and pick up some easy kills.
Okay. Seeing the leader, Clayster there, trying to lead his guys to victory. If you're just joining us, it was a dominant Game 1 performance, something like 250 to 80. They were able to take that. But let's focus back to Game 2. It looks like we're going to see in a push here, potentially from the side of United. They're trying to get forward and get positioning, but Enable's already found one with the MV4.
I feel like if your goal is to get the bomb down as fast as possible, you're better off going over towards A. You can get bomb downfall all the way back, and you see E United with a very good push here. It's going to be quickly turned into a 1v3. Attach the only one alive for FaZe Clan. E United with a very good call here in this round.
We have those, but surely this one too much for him. He's gets caught reloading. He had a couple more bullets in the clip and kept spraying there. That might have quickly turned into a 1 versus 1.
Yeah, but a good trade there from E United. They knew he had wasted a ton of bullets just pre-firing the doorway. Pristini comes in. As a kill, you definitely expect him to pick up a fairly easy one. It's E United takes the round advantage.
And they've been battling back throughout this one. They came in with the Warrior tag, the onliner tag. I think E United's proved everyone wrong at this point with already being guaranteed top
I don't
6.
know if you can really even say that. I mean, it looks like it from the outside, but you talk to a lot of the pro players, and you can kind of tell when a team is like, a really good online team, their playstyle's not going to transition over to LAN. And a lot of the players, they believe that E United was going to come out and have a pretty good weekend, that the playstyle they used online was conducive to something that would be successful here.
I think most of the trash talk you hear or negativity is just frustration over losing to them, likely in the online 2Ks. We've got Clayster mid-map with Camo. This is one of our slower rounds that we've seen develop, probably the slowest thus far. And Clay in a position here to watch anything through mid-tracks. The Scarab now going to be called out by Pristini, just trying to get some information here around the A bomb site.
He can sit it on this bomb for a very long time. I mean, does not need to blow it up there. He's going to gain a ton of vision, able to see if FaZe is going to go over towards that bomb site, and they've had to back up here. Very good play there by Pristini. He's going to be able to take out Clayster there first. So now the bomb site is open for FaZe. The bad news is 29 seconds left and they're man down.
And Zuma getting tagged up as he tries to hit the cross. All of a sudden, it's just Enable by himself. 4 up, 4 down. E United makes that round look easy, and they're 1 round away from tying this series up at 1-1.
And this would be huge for E United. We talked about how they got blown out in game number 1. FaZe has been so good in search and destroy here at this tournament. To come in and beat FaZe in a game number 2 would be massive, tie the series up.
And you talk about in a best-of-5 series, game 3 is your swing game, and that's where both of these teams are flawless. I know we've got some stats to break down with regards to Uplink coming up, but they've both been lights out, man.
FaZe has just been on another level in the game mode, though, from everybody else. I mean, when you look at all the numbers, it's just absolutely silly. But E United on offense here with a good chance to close things out. And look at this, they're going back to the same strat that won in the last round. And FaZe, they don't even respect the fact that they could push over towards the B bomb site. They're just stacking A and then having to rotate back. I don't like that call.
Yep, the B wide open as so much action goes down towards the A site. Scarab out for Clay to try and get some information. There is one sitting behind that close bus. We'll see if he's able to spot him out as he wraps the corner. Doesn't check that close corner. He actually flies right by one into the rear end of another.
But I'm not able to kill him with the Scarab. We don't see many Scarab kills. Pristini's going to pick up 2, and he's going to have these streaks to call down. This is going to be a round that E United most certainly will take Maven. Enable, the only one alive. Bombs being dropped on him. Players shooting at him in the mid-cut. It's going to be E United taking map number 2, 6-3, tying the series up.
Pristini's calling in a bombardment, not even gun up, just comes out and slaughters one in front. What a sick win there from E United, and now we've got ourselves a series. You know, like you said, if FaZe takes that, is it over? No, we know E United can bring it back, but
see the writing
more
on
than
the wall,
likely,
though.
it's probably more than likely they're probably going to get shut down.
Without a doubt, I think if FaZe takes that game 2, E United finds themselves out of this series, but they battle back after a very bad hardpoint loss, the very good search and destroy play, and I think now you kind of look, if you're E United, if you know you're a player in that huddle or whatnot, the leader, probably silly, you're kind of reminding them what you guys did yesterday. It's like, hey, we destroyed Splice and Uplink. Let's do it here to FaZe, and then we go back to Hardpoint. We're not going to be that poor in Hardpoint again. We can close the series out.
Well, we've got some great talking points to get to for the Uplink, which is sure to be a battle here to kick things off for Championship Sunday. But guys, it'll be right after this quick break.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Championship Sunday here at the Call of Duty World League presented by the PlayStation 4. A little bit of an update. Of course, there's plenty of other games going on at the same time as the FaZe versus United matchup, one of which is actually going to be the Splice versus TGC Blue matchup. This one in a Game 3. Splice currently leading 2-0, and as you can see in the uplink, it's a 10-1 lead for Splice. Chance, you've been watching this one intently. TGC, are they going home?
Yeah, no, they're 100% going home. They have zero chance of making this comeback in the slightest. 9 points in a minute 45 is simply just not going to happen, especially not on a map like Throwback. There's just not enough spawn trap potential with that amount of time. But the entire series has kind of been slowly going this direction. It started out Spice in the Hardpoint. They win 250 to 199, so relatively close game. But Spice, they just really look comfortable the entire time. Kind of what you expect in their Hardpoint game. Mad Cat, he was just allowed to sit back, hang out with the AR. He was shredding with it because you got Josh injured, doing all of that dirty work to allow him playing comfortably. So again, that's the Spice that you'd like to see. The Search and Destroy ended up falling 6-2, and again, Spice, they just look pretty consistent throughout. And then obviously you see the score now. They've just been having a field day.
And I feel like if you're a Splice fan, the good Judd has come out to play here on Championship Sunday. He's shooting buddies. He looks confident, Merc.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm such a fan of this team. I love this roster when they put it together. Obviously, a lot of controversial changes right after that Call of Duty Championship where they placed second, but you know, that pickup of Mad Cat and Jerd obviously working out so far.
Absolutely. It looks as if for Splice, they will 3-0, and TGC will sadly be going home. Elsewhere, the Delta Stream Team and Fuse find themselves 2-0 up. They're against Team 3G. They're 7-0 up in the uplink with 2.5 minutes left, so it's probably fair to assume they may take that one as well. But we'll keep you updated. For now, though, we can go back to the main stage for FaZe Clan versus United.
All right, thank you, guys. So there was a lot of talk about EU versus NA. What would be successful for the EU side? You know, some of us said, get 2 in the top 8, maybe something like that. So Splice will be in the top 8. You have Views versus 3G, so you should be looking at potentially a second.
I think both the other regions.
Elevate's playing Optic tough right now.
Yeah, both the other regions showed up in a big way. I know Mindfreak, we talked about their performance earlier. I think they definitely showed up for the APAC region. And then obviously the EU teams have played, I think, a little bit better than some had expected. But this is what I wanted to talk about, Maven, with Uplink. You see, obviously, FaZe versus E United, the matchup. Gunless and Pristini, 8th and 9th overall in the Uplink KD. But look at the top 5. I mean, 3 of the top 5 KDs belong to FaZe. Zuma at the top, Enable and Attach 3-4 respectively. But just look at Attach. I mean, a 1.32, almost 2 carries a game, almost 2 throws a game. Pretty sick stuff. I mean, he's doing the objective work and putting up the kills for this team.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? That's absurd. I know that they're both undefeated in the mode, but how can you not favor FaZe when you see that?
I mean, you can.
They've been pounding people.
Right, that's the difference. I was just going to hit on that. That obviously outside of E United Splice last night, which was a complete stomp, that the games for E United have been a little bit closer than expected. FaZe has just been running through everybody on this game mode. So this is going to be a little bit of a battle. I think if E United can slow the game down, it's going to be a little bit easier for them to win. But on Precinct, this is one map you heard Chance talk about, Throwback, where you can't spawn trap people, you can't make these crazy runs. Complete opposite on Precinct. You can definitely spawn trap people and really punish them.
This is where we saw day one. Remember, FaZe set up. It was Zuma getting them locked back alley, and they put up 8 or so points in a row.
He had 30 kills in the first half.
They are terrifying when they get set up. Now let's just take a look where our sides are going to be coming from. So when you look at the minimap, I know that this can play 50-50, but if you're looking at the side that get the spawn trap a little bit stronger, FaZe has the better first half side.
Yeah, Ken with a lot of quotes around it.
Yeah, right.
We do see a lot of the time the side that FaZe is on, they put up a ton of points. They're able to go to that top side of the minimap, get control, ticket, spawn the players in that back alley all the way on the left side of the minimap, and then force them to, funnel out of those narrow chokes. Pretty easy to win those with assault rifles, but right now, United's done a very good job, Maven. They've thrown the drone down. They're just picking up kills. You see every time they come off spawn, they're going to that top side of the minimap. Cannot give that area up to FaZe.
Where you see the number 4 and 3 right now, that area, that back alley, right there in that ticket building and sort of the mid-tarps right outside it, that's the key position of the game. They have to hold that. As soon as they lose control of that, they're going to get throttled. So far, doing a good job maintaining it, but now it's Arcides finding 3, getting one with the melee as well as he's trying to push into lobby. He's going to have Gunless leading out front to find the kills, and this may be points where they have 2 players to try and get by, and the defense holding strong thus far for FaZe.
Again, sometimes we talk about, a good offense is a very good defense, and when you see the drone being brought all the way towards Construction Cherry Blossom, FaZe cannot keep pushing that top side of the minimap. They have to wrap all the way back. It takes the drone out of the position where they can get a fast score off.
It's interesting because you have two two basically sides where it's the stalemate and the gunfights go down. It's either going to happen at front ticket or more towards that backside of Statue. Had the fights been going down at backside Statue, when you got that 3 kills from Arcades, you get a point there. But the fact that they were playing sort of on their side of the base, you can't counter quickly.
So look, you see Zuma go down the middle of the street, right? They're trying to force spawn them in that back ticket. Because the drone was down in that position over by construction, E United spawned at the top side of the minimap over by ticket. They're able to come back, play defense, only give up 1 point to FaZe.
Well, let's see if counter is a possibility. Doesn't look like it as Zuma cut off the bottom side of lobby here, but now they're trying to take it to the top and they have to wrap back. So a little bit of trickery here as they're able to pull the oop and try to win the gunfights up top, but it's Clayster and Zuma shutting it down on defense. But Silly, I was going to say Silly, a nice position to maybe find a few in the cutoff, but now you have 4 people pushing forward for FaZe and only a couple on defense to shut it down. But that one player, who was it, Pristini, finds a big kill to make sure you don't have any kind of quick hit there from FaZe.
The drone is going to be picked up by E United. They're going to try and keep bringing this through Statue. And you know, it's a lot like on that first Hardpoint where they relied a lot on their gun skill, did not work out. You see the same thing here. They are forcing their gun skill down FaZe's throat, and FaZe is just gunning them back. I mean, they have not gotten any offense here.
But the solid part to this, I mean, if you're 3 minutes in here and you've only allowed FaZe to get 1 point.
Very good spot for United.
Exactly, and what's been their stronger side, you feel pretty damn good. You've done a good job making sure, I mean, FaZe at not one single point has had control of ticket, and that's where you're winning the fight.
I mean, you just don't want a high-scoring game.
Well, now you're in trouble. Now you could be, because now you're going to allow several players to get up in a ticket. If they find 2 more kills here, it's scary. Well, that first one by Silly is huge.
Yeah, United has, I know, one more wave of defense here. You see Zuma, that is the big two. Now things could get bad.
Well, okay, so you at least clean up the kill. Zuma, the only one left. All right, so you clear out the base. You only give up 1 point. You think when Zuma gets those 2, you know, they find 1 more kill as a team. It's looking like you might get the spawn trap on, but United has done just enough to make sure that doesn't happen, Matt.
And 2 players I've been very impressed with from the side of FaZe, and this one has obviously been Zuma, you know, just the aggression that he's put on. And Enable, sitting at 9-9, does not really kind of stand out in the scoreboard, but with the NV4, he's been posted up on that Statue and he's been able to do some nice things, but this is going to be a dunk. They take it through construction and Cherry Blossom, a 2-point play there to tie it up for E United.
That is sick stuff from E United. You know, you haven't been getting beat necessarily, but you're down 2. You've played them very tough, but now to be able to counter this quickly and tie up the game, and you're looking to get 1 more through. The 1-pointer does not go in. Oh, just there for the dunk. You think it might be Gunless, but he gets shut down at the goal.
And against a team like FaZe, those are points you need. I mean, you can't afford to miss 1-point throws. Me and Jack saw it from all the teams in Europe, just missing 1-point throws that ended up hurting so many teams. E United in a match where, you know, this is a swing game. This is a huge map for them in this series. They need to knock down those 1-point throws because look, I mean, that 1-point missed. Now FaZe is able to take it down the street. They're going to get a 2.
Yep, this is going to be a 2, and can they get set up to hold them back? Ali is the question. No. Thankfully, Pristini of the United able to find a couple kills, but in the closing 30 seconds, a nice dunk from FaZe.
This is the spot where Enable has been in all game. He sits on top of the Statue. He's able to see drone and prevent players coming from top ticket. Such a good spot to post up with the NV4.
Yeah, you're safe right on that backside from the guy top ticket as well, so you can shoulder peek him, get some shots in. He's been a key player in this game on the defensive side of things, and he gets set up for drone.
I mean, he picks up the first kill every time. I mean, he prevents him from picking up the drone right away. Let's say he picks up 1 kill. E United gets the drone, only 2 players with their gun up with 1 guy with the drone, and his team has the advantage in the trades coming off spawn, so Enable a key factor on the defensive end.
Leverage always a key thing in any gunfight. It's not easy to take that fight from the ground to that top ticket window. This gives him a little bit of elevation, makes it an easier gunfight in his favor. How do you feel overall, though? Considering the side FaZe started on, I think I feel pretty good for both teams, actually. I mean, this is kind of the dogfight we expected, right?
I feel pretty good for United, though. I think, you know, keep it a low-scoring game. Only a 1-possession game in the first half. You're in a very good spot. And look at this, a great opening break. They pick up 2 kills here. They get the drone down into the lower street. You have Gunless coming through the top. This is going to be points for United. It's going to be a 2. We're going to tie the game up right away.
Okay, this is terrifying early on. 4-4 E United, 6 up. And who are the 2 guys that we've talked about all weekend long for United? Gunless and Pristini. And look at their stats right now. 20 and 16 for Gunless, 18 and 14 for Pristini. And you've only got Zuma positive on the other end of things.
I got to say, I've been very impressed with Gunless from the standpoint that there's a lot of talk of him coming into this event. You know, a lot of the players we interviewed say, you know, could be one of the best players, if not the best player in the game. To have that kind of pressure on you coming in here with a team with E United with a lot of pressure on them already to perform the way he has in, you know, one of their first events, you know, playing on the main stage. Very impressed.
Yeah, he was considered the breakout player for this event by many of his peers. But now it is going to be time for FaZe to push out of this ticket side of the map and try to find some kills. Clayster playing back and passive with the MV4, just trying to find a kill. This is one surely you should win. Nice shots there from Clay, and Abel finds one as well. And now the attack should be on, but it's Gunless in the back. Able to trade out one, and Silly, those are two huge kills because that may delay everything. There's going to be a 1-point opportunity. It's up, it's away, it's a little bit short. Can't get it through. Silly, big on defense.
Another missed throw, man. I mean, we've seen in this game, you know, Infinite Warfare as a whole, a lot of missed 1-point throws, just the trajectory of the drone, much different than like in the past. Players still have not adjusted to it. You see a miss there from Attach, would have put FaZe up 1.
Let's go to Arcides, number 2. Oh, he just dropped. I was going to say he was set up in a good spot to maybe find some kills in the back alley of FaZe's base, but he gets shut down. Now with 4 down, they're all coming off a spawn, and FaZe is looking to get in strong position. Zuma up close and personal. God, they keep winning those gunfights. When you think FaZe is set up to maybe put the hammer through, all those big defensive kills come in for United.
FaZe gets pretty fortunate there that the drone resets, because the drone is down by Cherry Blossom. You think that United can pick it up, go on the offensive right away. It goes all the way back towards mid-map, but look at this. We rarely see this. Pristini going all the way through the back alley. You usually don't want to go there to block these spawns. He's able to pick up 2.
Oh, no!
Almost gets the 3rd. Zuma shuts him down. Don't think they would have gotten points out of that regardless, but still, Pristini almost makes a huge play.
You know, from that POV, you think they have to get points with him coming behind the entire team, but it's like his kills came right after that player killed one of his teammates, right?
And I tell you what, I mean, every time we see FaZe go on offense, it is quickly shut down by E United. 2-3 kills from the E United squad here. We do see Attach in the mid-cut. He's going to get traded out fast. The drone going down the mid-street, not able to get the 1-point throw off. So both these teams so close to knocking down these 1-point throws, getting these opportunities, but you did see active camo up for one of the players on E United. Look to see if they use that to get a 1-point play late.
How many times in Black Ops 3 did we see it come down to the wire or come down to the camo versus camo player from each team? Because that is your best, I guess, guaranteed point. So Gunless is going to have to clutch up. We'll see if the camo player on the other side is getting close here.
Big kills by Attach there in the middle of the map. He picks up 2, lets his team get over towards Statue. And it looks like FaZe is going to play this a little bit slower here, Maven. They're not going to try and force this in right away. They know they waste some clock here. They get a 2-point play. They can put this one away.
Well, Enable just got eyes on 2. He has 1 close, able to win that. But look at X-Ray, just the entire team in front. He's going to need some help. And those nades and gunfire just flying through to shut him down. Attaching Clay, though, keeping this potential push alive. He's grabbed it. It's going to be Clayster. He's trying to use the camo. You got to see if Gunless can counter this. Oh, he's a little bit short. He has to go for the 1-point toss. He didn't get the whole way across. Is that maybe going to end up hurting them?
It may. I mean, you know, Gunless has camo on the other side. Usually when we see camo used, you're able to get a 2-point play with ease. Clay just not, you know, managing his boost well there when he's trying to go off the wall.
You need your synaptic rig there, and you're getting across, right?
Yeah, it would have been nice to have propulsion.
Not enough to get across, and this is all going to be on Gunless for me. They need to get him in a position where he can use this camo and maybe get through the dunk.
Look at Silly on the bottom side of your mini-map, coming down towards that mid-street. He's going to have the advantage here. This is a big kill. He's able to get one.
Get it to Gunless. He's got it in his hands now. He's going to have the camo to work with. Can he make the play? Let's hop up to him. The camo has been popped. Looking for the angle. Half left. He wants the dunk. It goes for it. 30 seconds left, and Gunless gets it through.
And he gets 3 kills right after. E United going to have drone control as well. They're going to take it top side, and they need to stay composed here, Maven. Gunless gets streaks. They don't exactly need points here, but a 1-point play will end it.
Gunless has 15 bullets left because he slaughtered everyone, and they have done it. E United taking game 3.
And we talk about camo use right there. We saw Clay pop the active camo. He only gets 1 point from it. Does not manage that boost properly. Does not allow him to go up onto the platform to get a 2-point play. Gunless there goes insane. Camo, 2-point play, 3 kills. Trinity Rockets right after. More points on the board for E United in a big game 3.
You know, as much as you, even if Clayster got the dunk, it wouldn't have mattered because the play that Gunless just had, the camo, the shake and bake underneath the dunk, and then he kills the entire team. That man right there, you are God.
Yeah, he played out of his mind there in the uplink. That is FaZe's first uplink loss here in Atlanta. That is E United still staying undefeated in the game mode. They've only lost 2 respawns, 1 to FaZe at the beginning of this one in the Hardpoint, and 1 to Splice yesterday in the Hardpoint. You look now, we talk about, you know, game 3 being the swing game. E United now has all the momentum.
And like it's a crazy kind of momentum, the adrenaline filling momentum. When you win like that in the final 30 seconds with big plays, and Gunless is just like,
Yeah, he didn't look really kind of phased at all. He's not excited.
He's like, oh, this is on the main stage? Oh, it's
His
Sunday?
teammates are coming over there, shaking him, like giving him high fives, and he's just like, what in the world did I just do?
That was so sick from Gunless, and now they have the edge in the series. We'll take a look at some of the replays here. If you are just tuning in, and maybe you've only followed some of the the top teams, the more common organizations in your FaZe, Optic, Envies, you haven't really followed E United as well. These guys are proving all weekend long they are the real deal.
And this would be like a landmark win for them. Like, obviously they've had some really strong, performances against other teams here at this event, but to come into the main stage in this type of match against FaZe Clan and be able to take it, that would be it would solidify their spot amongst the elite in Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, if they haven't already kind of done it, I mean, this does it for sure. A win over FaZe here, and the conversation completely ended. That's where he's just a tiny bit short. He's just a tiny bit short. You get the 1-point throw, but again, I don't know that it would have mattered. You get underneath here. Excellent replays. 1, 2, 3. The entire team gunned.
Yeah, I think the only difference you could have said there is, maybe FaZe does not have to back all the way up and kind of protect their base at that time. They can play a little bit more aggressive towards the middle of the map to try and get drone, because it's such a different situation, right? I mean, when you're only up 1, you have to go back and play defense. If you're up 2, you can give up the 2. The game is tied at that moment in time. Then you can go play for the score at the middle. You don't have to, you can maybe play for some drone control. You can throw it out. You can play a little bit more of the clock.
That might have been a reason that Gunless is able to get that 3-piece, because you're so focused on we have to go, get back to drone spawn, right? Is that maybe part of it? Because I mean, you're down 1, you have to make a play. You're right. If it's tied, it is a completely different scenario.
Yeah, I mean, when Gunless picks up that score, immediately the FaZe guys are like 25 seconds left. We need to get drone control. We can only push all the way out top side, or we can go down the mid street. And it seems like they don't even really look at him to shoot him. They just let him kind of just murder everybody.
So what happened with Clay there? Maybe just mistimed the jump a little bit. Like Clayster, but that should be a dunk.
Mistime the jump, 1. I think like your long off shot 2nd is like maybe they thought that they could have had mid-map control coming off the spawn, because he's the only one alive. His 3 teammates are coming off spawn. You think, okay, I get 1 point here, 40 seconds left, we get drone control, we're in a good spot, we bring it statue side, we throw it down, we exchange some kills, we're in a good spot. I think it was more of just messing up the boost, not able to get on that ledge and put in 2.
Unreal game 3, and I mean, that's what you expected. When you take a look at the stats, you see 5 of the top 10 players overall in KD for Uplink came from these 2 squads. They showed it there.
And you can also throw into the equation that he has no teammate support there, so he has to pop camo a little bit earlier. So he's not able to wait at that bottom, wait for his boost to come back, and jump up, because he would have been out of camo. They would have taken him out before even getting any points on the board.
That's true. And I agree with you that he had to take the 1-point toss. I mean, once he got to that position,
there was no option at that moment.
He had to, yeah. All right, but we are going to be going now into our 2nd hard point in this best of 5. The first, a 250-80 blowout. And if you watched E United's matchup versus Splice, though, last night, they struggled in the game 1, and then they came alive in the game 4, and I believe it beat Splice by 100+ points. So they have the capability to do it in this game, but Respawn's been their bread and butter.
And it's funny, E United is probably like, okay, let's do this again, just like how we did against Splice the other day. And FaZe is probably thinking, not again, because they feel like they always get into this position. They're so strong. It looks like they're going to go away with the tournament, kind of run away with it, and then they take an unexpected loss.
All right, well, let's see who gets the edge here early on. A couple kills coming in for FaZe as we're fighting for the top bridge hard point. Some shots going in from Silly, but it's Arcides with the 2-piece with the NV4 that opens things up and allows some time to come in here early for United.
It's kind of crazy that you think this series could have been decided by that last 2 minutes of Uplink. Just the momentum swing that we could see here as E United starts off hot here, up 16-1, 30 seconds left on the hard point, still a ton of time here. And this is not one you put a ton of emphasis on, Maven. You get time here, great, it's like a bonus. You're really looking at no Cathedral and Broken, that 3 and 4 hard point.
Those rotations are where you can really pick up the time and lock it down, but we've got a ways to go until we get there. And this has been one hell of an opening, though, for E United. The fact that this is supposed to be, kind of a dogfight, try and fight for scrap as many points as you can, and they're going to end up kind of blowing it out 29-1. It should end up being. Looks like they're going to leave the final point there, but very good opening here from E United.
It's very good from the standpoint as well. Nobody has control of the lower market. I mean, right now, FaZe, they go down from the upper market, they go down to the lower street, they get control of the hard point. Now, United now taking their time. They do have some time to play with here, have a pretty big lead. They can push this effectively. You don't want to just keep flooding in, give up some streaks here, because then it doesn't matter what you do in Cathedral.
I was about to say Zuma in a key position here to make sure they can look over this lower street. He gets dropped, but Enable still using the pillar well here. Staying alive, and now the push is going to come. His teammates covering him. Can't get the shots down range, but the first 30 seconds of that hardpoint go the way of FaZe Clan. They take control of the lead, and this is actually what looks to be a perfect hold here on lower street.
And I like what United is doing. They had 2 more players coming out the spawn. They devote them to go try and challenge the lower street. They already have 2 players rotating over here towards Cathedral. The bad news is that Enable beats him over there, so they're going to push out this bridge area. He's got 1 player directly in front of him, not able to take out Silly. United make a very good push down the bridge. They do have the man count if they want to push this.
That's unreal. Apparently lower street, your money hill, as you get 55 points for FaZe. What a sick hold there. And now, not only do you get all that time, but you're also set up nicely here for the next hardpoint.
Look at where FaZe is spawning now. You had actually Silly coming through the market, and he had his teammates coming from bridge, and United is able to just force the spawns of FaZe out, and they get Cathedral right back.
You needed to get this break, because you let all this time go to FaZe, like 2 perfect hardpoints in a row, and all of a sudden you're looking at a 100 to 30-ish game, which gets scary. It looks like game 1 almost, right?
Yeah, and United actually, if you look at the minimap, it's very interesting. They have 3 players over at Cathedral. They already are sending Gunless all the way to the next hardpoint. They're already rotating all the way over towards Broken. So they're relying on Pristini and 1 more player from United to take the rest of his time on the Cathedral, and they do it. That is huge for United.
And Gunless gives them both the spawn. You see Silly and Arcides popping up with them. FaZe not ready for the entire squad to already be over. Gunless finding 2 big ones, and it's Silly inside, ready to go here at Broken.
And let's just talk about just what trust in your teammates you have to only put 2 players over at Cathedral, rotate with 30 seconds left, knowing how important that time is for your team, and have the trust for them to be able to come up with it.
Well, now it's going to be Pristini coming underneath. He's on a 3 streak, sitting at 7 and 6. Jumping outside the map for a moment. I'll say if he wins that one, that would have been an absurd turn and burn, but can't find the kill. FaZe, though, gets the break pretty quickly here, but you're still United. Feels good. You battle back here, and this looks to be much more back and forth than what we saw in the game 1.
Well, look, United's still in this game, right? But if you look over on the side of FaZe, Tatch is 4 and 7. With how he's played throughout the tournament, you expect him to heat up on this map, and that's where you think, FaZe can just start to make this a blowout. So United needs to take advantage here. They need to get up a good score before you see Attach probably start to go off.
Well, and Attach, I mean, this is a map that thrives on long-range gunfights. His moneymaker's up close and personal, but that's where we're headed, right? Hotel Hallway is somewhere where you think that he might be able to get it going. That plays more to his strong suits.
Without a doubt, and I feel like this is one of the harder maps. We see some players in Europe, running ERAD on this one, and some pretty bad scores being put up. It's so difficult with the long sight lines to be able to put up nice scores. And you see, picks up 2 right in the Hotel Hallway. This is where he could start to get going.
This is exactly where you expect him to thrive. Attach 3 in a row after being 4 and 7. This is where he makes his money. Put him in that 10 to 15-yard range, and he is not losing gunfights. Still has the streaks going, has his Scarab, another one in front, trying to win the second there. 3 players end up being too much, but he gets 4 in a row. Big kills in there to rack up some time for FaZe.
Yeah, but just a few kills for a player like Attach can kind of set him off, just kind of change the game completely for him. 2 kills from Zuma there. He's going to get traded out fast. It's Arcides inside of the hardpoint with the NV4, picks up 2, holds it for United there at the end, but Attach another 2-piece inside of this Hotel Hallway. It'll be FaZe with a little bit of a lead here going into the second rotation of hardpoints. I thought United battled them well, though, throughout the first.
They certainly have, keeping it a whole lot closer than that game 1, but you see all red on the kill feed here. 4 players dropping for United, and now they're going to be set up on bridge. Now, honestly, as silly as this is, the key hard point probably for me on this second set of rotations is lower street. You can't allow FaZe to have a perfect 60 hold, basically, again.
Yeah, I think if you're United, you have to give up on this bridge a little bit earlier. United, you have to give up on this bridge a little bit earlier and get to that lower street. And you do see, Attach starting to play well. We talked about it, if he starts playing well, that they'll be able to get going.
Well, something crazy going down right now in the Optic versus Elevate series. We're going to toss things quickly over to Ben.
Thank you very much, Maven. As it stands, Optic Gaming 2-1 up in the series. They lost the first hardpoint to Elevate, surprisingly 250 to 199. But here we find ourselves in game 4. The score 201 to 184. Optic Gaming trying to pull away. TP, you've been watching this game. I mean, how has Elevate been able to hold on?
I really don't know. You look at the scoreboard, and Optic is completely outslaying, but the close quarters combat from Elevate just too darn good. I don't know how they're keeping themselves in this map. Overall, though, Optics playing right next to us. They're getting loud. A lot of trash talk from Scump and Formal, especially after every single kill. It's getting quite loud, but you can see Elevate just somehow able to get the better of these trades over and over again, and now it's within 10 points going at the later seconds of this middle hill.
This is an unbelievably crazy ending to this map. This is the right here, 212 to 212. You can see Scump desperately trying to go big Merc. I mean, can Elevate do it? Can they take this map?
Absolutely, but this is a very difficult hill to break, and you can see Camel Pop. This could be a huge play from Watson. See if he can get any more, and Reedy comes in, and this is a huge play from Elevate. If they're able to break this hill, they could win right here.
They could indeed. Elevate doing a fantastic job, and they could potentially be forcing a game 5 here, desperately trying to hold on. Chance, spotted anything interesting from this one?
Really just the camo use difference. Karma tried to use his as well, got absolutely nothing out of it. So now in full control of this dirt hill, just 20 more seconds need to come on board. Scump doing everything he can right now just to contest, but so many tough gunfights to win. Formal coming in support though. Optic Gaming not out of it yet.
And we've seen so many situations like this with such little time left in the turbine. They have to start rotating to this next hill, and this is where the game is going to end.
And we've seen these moments, those 249 holds, this force to rotate. I mean, Team, who right now looks in a better situation? Is it Optic Gaming or is it Team Elevate?
I think Optic Gaming is looking a little bit better, but Shawnee's coming through the top hallway, picks up 2 players, unbelievable stuff. I thought Optic was going to get the setup, but it seems like the rotation has gone into Elevate's favor. You can see how far Optic Gaming is spawning out now because Elevate's so far pushed up in middle map, but it's all up to these next gunfights. Optic needs to take their time and go around the back, but it doesn't look like they're going to do it. It's a hell of a game.
As it stands, Elevate 7 seconds away from forcing a game 5. This is tournament life on the line. If Optic Gaming is able to break it, they will be sending Elevate home. They will be eliminated. 5 seconds left. It looks like Optic Gaming may be able to do it. Karma on your screens. Switch over to Reedy. Will Reedy be able to break the hill? He won't. And that will be Elevate going down. For now, though, we can throw it straight back to the main stage for the FaZe game.
We've got nail biter after nail biter. 196 in this game. What the hell is this? The CWL Atlanta Open continues to impress.
Yeah, you saw E United, they had a great hold on Cathedral to bring this all the way back. FaZe rotates early, they get control of Broken, but here comes the push from E United.
Clay trying to hold on. You see on X-Ray, he's got a couple in front, just playing his life, going vertical outside as an E United player, but Clay still holding strong. They've hit the 220 mark. You just saw Optic get it done. Can their rivals, FaZe, close this one out and push it to a game 5? They're just seconds away, but we are at least going to see one more rotation, Matt.
Yeah, and E United is just forced to funnel through the front of this hardpoint. They cannot pinch, not enough time. If you do pinch, you don't get it. You don't give up any time here for FaZe Clan, and you see it's going to be 2:42. And counting, it's going to be FaZe about 5 seconds away from taking this game, going to Hotel Hallway.
And this is where Attach went off, but it's the Camel of Clayster that could be the dagger. He's in behind. Surprise, buddy, you can't see me. Finds one there, tries to spray for a second, but will get chopped down. 2 points away. They've done it. We're going to game 5.
FaZe holds on in that hardpoint Maven, 250 to 203. E United makes a valiant comeback. They take the lead on Cathedral. But just the experience and just the poise, this FaZe team to rotate over to Broken early, get control of that, knew if they held on to that, the game would be in their favors.
Well, United familiar with game 5s after last night in their winners round 1 versus Splice. What's your key going into this? I mean, I'm not going to make you pick. I don't care. I just want an intense match. But how do you feel about who's going off?
I think the first few rounds are actually crucial for United. I think just the nerves being in a game 5 against FaZe. I mean, they hear the crowd. Everyone getting excited here in the venue on Sunday. I think the first few rounds goes in FaZe's favor. You hear the crowd start to get hyped a little bit. Could be the end for United.
Well, let's take a look at some of the replays here from the hardpoint on Retaliation. It was incredibly back and forth, not the blowout affair we saw in game 1. FaZe ultimately able to close it out. But what was your, I guess, kind of key to victory here for FaZe?
Well, I know that they got Attach going in the second half. I mean, you can see right now Attach sitting at, he was like 4-8 going into Hotel Hallway. We talked about it. This is one where he can start to get going. He actually finishes things 21-19, 2 minutes in the hardpoint with 10 defense. So he actually puts together a monster game here towards the second half.
And I feel like that's something we've seen of Attach just through PSX, through Vegas. Some slow starts to hardpoint, and then he erupts over the second half. We've seen it time and time again. He gets into a groove. He can be a streaky player at times. He can be a beast.
Yeah, and I think once he starts to get going, it's very difficult to shut down. E United here towards the end. They need to get Hotel Hallway. The camo comes in. But you can see the box score. Lower Street ended up being huge for FaZe Clan because look at that Graveyard in the second rotation, and even the first went heavily to E United, but FaZe, they won this one on Broken and Lower Street.
Well, that's the thing that stands out the most, because you talk about Grave and Broken kind of being your money hills, right? They turned Lower Street into their money hill. I mean, 93-6, that shouldn't happen. You shouldn't dominate that much. I mean, I know we've seen some sick setups, but it's not nearly as easy to hold as something like Grave.
You can see why, though. E United takes 50 seconds on bridge. They just relied on taking a lot of time on bridge. They played there a little bit too long. They did not get over towards street, and FaZe made them pay for it.
Well, a lot of that bridge time, the separation kind of comes from the opening of the game. They opened up like 23-0, something like that.
It's really odd to see as well, just because, you know, FaZe, they hold that Lower Street for so long, right? It's such a large disparity in score in their favor. That's the same spawn you want for Grave. And E United takes all of that time. So just shows you E United did a nice job coming from that bridge side to be able to break Graveyard. If they take Lower Street, that is one that they take.
Well, guys, it is the all-important Game 5 coming up next. We'll be right back after this quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Championship Sunday. FaZe, E United. What more could he ask for? It's going to Game 5, and your guess is as good as mine. Who's taking this?
Yeah, it's near impossible to pick because I know I'm looking at some of the stats. We have a lot of guys here, crunching some numbers. And I sat with JP, one of the guys that we had from Concepts in the past and whatnot, and we're just going over some of the games this morning. And both of these teams are undefeated on this map coming into this one, so it's literally impossible to pick. I mean, Crusher is a game mode. Don't exactly know how many times they played it. You imagine through pools and whatnot, probably 2 or 3 times each.
Well, both were undefeated.
Both were undefeated.
Uplink.
Yep.
And FaZe took that. Are you trying to tell me you think FaZe is going to win?
United took the uplink.
I just lied to you. United clutched up. Boundless went nuts. So you're trying to tell me United's going to win?
I mean, you know, maybe they do. You tried to use some trickery there.
I did.
I love how...
By trying to confuse you, I confused myself.
It's your birthday next week. You're going to be, what, 46?
32.
47, 32, okay.
Halfway to dead.
I mean, your brain...
Oh, it's goo.
It functions like a 70-year-old. I mean, you don't even remember what happened 2 maps ago.
And that was like the...
I wish I could make that up, but you did. You don't.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's fine.
God. They need to put me in an old...
It's the lights. It's the lights. Blame the lights here.
Definitely is. They're so bright, man. I have a headache. All right, but we're getting ready now. Game 5. All right, you got to pick a key player here from either side. Who's going off for their squad, bud?
I mean, gunless for United. I mean, I think you can't really even pick anybody else. I mean, he's just been an absolute monster for this team. And I'm going to go with Clay on the side of FaZe. I feel like, you know, Zuma and Attach have been playing really well up until this point. I think you need Clay to, you know, be the leader, have a really good Game 5.
All right, well, Arcides looking like felony here. Mr. Mid-Map just trying to put through some pressure. Find anything he can. There's going to be a quick flank through. It looks like FaZe is ready for it. Able to tag up one and looking to push out. Not ready at all is Zuma. 2 kills coming in. Silly and Arcides doing work. Somehow still alive. Arcides taking gunfire from multiple players here. He's got one on either side. The pinch is coming through. Not looking the right direction. Is going to be Attached. It's now going to be Clayster trying to clutch up at a 1 versus 3. A lot of work to do.
And this is one of my favorite things to see from a team.
What the hell was that? That's what you call the snapper. He just 2-bullet him in the face.
He looked like 2-tap Evans there.
2-tap Evans coming through. All right, let's see if he can clutch it up, though. NV4 in hand, got a couple bullets, and either player here has to turn this into a 1v1. He's got one below him, tries to get off the map. Oh! Almost clutches it as I think one took a dive. That would have been insane.
Oh, if he's able to take out the second player, I don't think there's any way the first guy gets back on the map. He's so deep in the pit. But
he saw Clay. He's like, I'm out of here. I saw that first snap.
So I do like the push, you know, all jokes aside, from E United there at the beginning. I like at the beginning of a search and destroy when you throw something a little bit riskier into the mix, because a lot of teams, you know, to Game 5 expect to be a little bit safer. They go straight mid-map, come on the flank, FaZe not expecting it. It's an easy first round for United.
All right, well, let's see how the offense develops now for FaZe. Zuma has eyes on one, puts some shot forward, going up over the top. Was a FaZe player looking to maybe find that kill at the back site. So far, though, just a slow build up. Gunless wants to go inside, able to find one, but traded out very quickly. Going to be 3 versus 3. Sometimes in that position, you'll see 2 kind of line up for you.
Oh, but just look at the area on the map this opens up for Arcides as he comes around, grabs 1 kill on a flank. Clay picks up bomb, but he is weak. He's going to get taken out. Like I said, these first few rounds were big for E United. They get both of them. And no, we talked about E United doing the nice push up the middle of the map there. FaZe plays that really safe, Maven. I would like to see them try a little bit something riskier.
Well, they need to figure something out, Matt, because they're down 0-2 here in the Game 5. This is a spot phase. Obviously, this squad's been playing together for what seems like forever. They've been in this position many times. Clay gets going. They get amped up. I mean, but right now, I mean, he's the only one that's found kills, right? He's 4-2. Only other person even on the scoreboard is Attach.
And just look at the aggression from E United. FaZe just playing this so safe. They expect, you know, a lot of the strategies you see some of the other top teams pull out, just really safe, really consistent. E United not taking that play style at all. They get the bomb down, and over at the A site, one that we don't see pushed too often, and now FaZe going to have to break. They're taking a really long route here. And
Arcides was set up perfectly there to find one of the kills in transition, and it doesn't get traded out. Well, finally it does. So Enable is able to find the kill, turn this into a 3 versus 3. As United trying to defend the bomb here, Matt.
They're in a very good spot. I mean, 20 seconds left. FaZe is going way too slow for my liking here, Maven. Even if they pick up the kills here, I mean, what? They're going to have, you know, 5-6 seconds to actually pick up the kills and then get on bomb. Silly picks up 1, and that may have been the kill that solidified the round.
Yep, the RPR working wonders for him, just staying alive, gets pinched from behind, but you still got Pristini and not enough time to work with the final gunfight. Not a matter of importance.
They just went way too slow. Way too slow for my liking their FaZe. If you're going to go all the way around that flank, you have to just push into the A bomb site relentlessly. You can't just kind of play that slow. Because at that moment in time, it's a 3v3 with about 15 seconds left. You can't expect to take out all 3 players in, what, 6 seconds, 5 seconds? It's just not going to happen.
Well, shots of the FaZe guys talking it over right now. Who's got to do it? Somebody has to go big here, man. They need somebody to step up.
You need somebody to just make a play that kind of changes the momentum in the game. Right now, Clay playing pretty well, 4 and 3. You have Zuma at 1 and 2, and Abel at 1 and 3. I think Zuma, if you look at those two players, needs to be the one that's going to have to be the playmaker.
Well, let's take a look at the mini-map. A pretty passive defense there. Right now from E United, they're playing back by the bridge, kind of baiting out any kind of attempted plant here. You see the number 6 on the minimap is going to be Zuma watching, or sorry, Clayster watching the flank, but now he's going to have to get involved. His 2 drop. This is just all E United. The sniper not finding anything yet. We've seen Clayster last alive so many times. He has attached to work with now, but he's got to get in there and help him. It's going to be Clayster again in the 1v2, but he's found the snipe. Now going to be a 1 versus 1. Gunless versus Clay. Bomb is down. They know he has a snipe in hand. How crucial is this round here for
I mean, this round may be the game for FaZe. He's going to get bomb, and he's going to pick up a K-bar. Needs reloaded, only 4 bullets in the clip.
All right, he's managed to do that. Now look at Clay. He's got still a ways to go towards camo. He did find the positioning there.
Gunless doesn't need to challenge this up. He knows that he has the sniper rifle, so not going to challenge this towards mid-map.
This plant will give it. Let's see, and the timing will be good. He's got just 15 seconds left to work with here. He's got camo.
And
this is a 1v1.
I think you need this round. You need to use it.
You have to use it. Yeah, I mean, it stinks to use it this early in the game, but you've had a strong start. You're 5 and 3. You've got the plan to go with it. You've got to think about using it. He sees him in the corner, doesn't even need it, and gets the gunfight. That is huge.
It's
for
huge.
Clayster.
It's huge that he holds on to camo there. I mean, in another type of situation where maybe it's a gunfight where Gunless gets a tag on him, use the camo to get out of dodge, but right there, Clay wins the gunfight there. Huge win there for Clay. We talked that he needed to be the leader for FaZe here in Game 5. He is bringing it. They're still down 2 rounds.
That is such, I mean, how much nicer does it look, though, to have camo 1-3 versus like an 0-4 scenario. He ends up burning camo. That's the best that possibly could have gone. And now you got to tack another round on here. But let's take a look at the offensive spread right now for E United. Look at number 2 on the minimap. That's Arcity's pushing across. You saw him just at the bottom of the screen. I thought he might get into a gunfight with Clayster. Clay hit his camo, actually. Let's go to Clay real quick if we can get to him. He popped his camo trying to find the kill, and he just dipped. That was RC's dips across the map, so he uses his camo for nothing.
I mean, they waste the camo, and E United going to be able to get the bomb down here at A. I don't think they have any idea where Clay is coming from, though. He's going to be able to get 1. Gets the Scarab, working towards more streaks as well.
Clay having just a huge heroic performance thus far in this game, but you lose Enable there. Comes into a 3v3. Clayster still finding kills. Clayster finding another kill. He gets it 3, 9, and 3. Clay doing everything right now for FaZe.
I mean, he is not, if he does not play like he does in these first 2 rounds, this is something where United is up.
It could be a 6-0.
4-1, 5-0. Yeah, I mean, it is a blowout in favor of E United. Clayster just willing this FaZe team all the way back, now only down to 1 round.
And I'm curious, you know, with getting those 3 kills, I know he used the camo and not the best spot, but if they give him the defuse as well, how close?
Well, it's going to be a longer game in general, just because of the scoreline. So if FaZe does make the comeback, he will get camo again, most likely.
Well, I'm going to see how far he is. Can we check with Clayster? So he's halfway. Okay. And Gunless, look where Gunless is. Gunless hasn't used camo. He's 2 and 5. He's not that much past him. So he could get 2 camos up, and he's 50 off the bombardment, man.
Yeah, I mean, if FaZe wins another round, Clay is, you'd think, potentially getting the bombardment. It's going to be first blood in favor of FaZe Clan there. So we'll see the bomb go down over at A. And they're in a very good spot to win this round as well, tied up.
Well, you see Arcity should get shot in the back in a moment. He's going to drop, and who else is it? Clayster gets both. He's doing it all. He's going to find a third, maybe. No, Silly has something to say about that. And FTL Jump King has 20 seconds to work with here. He's in a 1 versus 2. Can he pull off some magic yet again? They're on both sides, and they're just scrambling away. I don't think he's going to have enough time to work with, but he's able to find 1 up close. He wins that. He has FTL jump, but with 10 seconds remaining, just not enough time to get it done.
Yep, just needs to play the clock. Zuma picks it up, and we are all tied now at 3 rounds apiece.
If Clayster won that 3rd gunfight, the place may have erupted.
I would love to just jump on with Clay at the beginning of this. We'll see how close he is to camo. I bet he's very close. And I imagine he gets the bombardment out of that as well with 2 kills to the beginning there.
And, you know, you talked about it statistically that Clay, I mean, okay, his teammates have been insane with their numbers, but he's been a bit lackluster, right, compared to the rest, and he does get the bombardment. And look at this. He's going to get his 2nd camo before Gunless gets his 1st.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows with the adjustments in CWL rules, with how you get these abilities, when you start to play well, you can really start to chain them together. And when you are not, as Gunless is on the other side at 2 and 6, it definitely hurts your team. I mean, getting 2 camos versus potentially only getting 1 is huge.
Well, Pristini just being very aggressive, trying to make his presence known here. And now they have to worry about him. So they get the bomb plant at the bottom half of the minimap. And look at all the arrows that are focusing attention on Pristini. They're so worried about him. They try to pinch him here. They don't allow him to get a kill. But now you got to go. This is going to be another spot where you have to make plays fast. Now, Gunless does get his camo. Can he make a clutch play here in a 2 versus 3?
I consider using it here just because the momentum is in FaZe's favor. You need to make a play. You need to take this round. Now you definitely don't, I think. Once that first player drops, but
he's going to do it.
Here it is.
He can catch one. There's 15 seconds left. He sees one. He's got the planner and Gunless. Woo! What a round.
Remember when I said don't use the camo?
Yeah, right as you say it, he pops it and goes.
1v3 there for Gunless. Does it look like the game is starting to go in FaZe's favor heavy? Convert to 1v3, man.
How important was the camo versus camo in the uplink earlier? You're seeing it again here in the search and destroy.
Yeah, Gunless has had, some incredible plays with camo. He was definitely got to take advantage of that ability. It's so strong.
He got the ace, right? Because he was 2 and 5.
I believe so.
Wow. So Gunless with the 1v3 and an ace. That's the rounds that just kill you. And they're pushing forward. Attach, trying to trade it out. A whirlwind there, but ultimately does fall. Trying to trade it back in Zuma. He's got one more to his right. Can't find it. Now it is Clayster, the Phenom. 1 versus 2, but up close and personally can't get it done. 1 round away as he united.
And Clay still has full streaks. I wonder if you were FaZe, if you were going to play around those streaks at the beginning, and E United realized that and was just going to push you straight up because they got really aggressive towards mid-map, really aggressive on the wall run, not giving Clay an opportunity to play back, use those streaks. And I think if you're United, you may think about going over towards A here. Knowing those streaks are in play, you don't want to go over and try and plant that bomb outside.
You see Overdrive coming out of RCD. Let's see if he can get into a spot to destroy. Maybe he's going to just hit the wall run very, very quickly and try to get across. That does look to be the play. He's barely out in front of his teammate that's behind him, even with the overdrive.
And they need to get this bomb down right away, because I imagine Clay is going to use these streaks. We'll see where E United goes to get some kind of cover and hide from them.
Well, it looks like the bombardment is going to come in, but Gunless has a streak of his own, so they both find, he finds 2 kills there with the bombardment. Gunless is Trinity Rocket able to find something. Now he realizes there's one at the rock. Clay's able to find an assist there, pops the camo, the spray not good enough, and they've done it. And who's the last man yet again? Clayster.
In a 1v1 there, pops the camo, needs to secure that kill. And Clayster still has streaks left for this next offensive round.
Trinity, right?
Yes, and if you're United, I do not know why you didn't go into A. I mean, that negates the streaks. I mean, you're not going to get anything with the bombardment. You have overdrive, which would have been better to use over towards A as opposed to going all the way towards B. So I think that would be a round that E United would like to have back.
Round 10. FaZe, Clayster, 14 and 6. In this one, he does have the Trinity Rocket to work with. They need this round to push it to around 11. You can see how passive the gameplay is in this round compared to others. So much on the line here.
Well, E United, they're going to have to stay within cover. They know the Trinity Rocket on the side of FaZe still in play. If you're FaZe, I think you want to try and win this round without using it. I think if you do get the clock a little bit lower, let's say, 40, 35 seconds, that's when you probably go over towards B and then use it. But Clay going to call this one in pretty early.
He calls it in, trying to get some information for his squad. So we saw a lot over by the A side. I don't know if he realizes there's a couple back in hangar, but he knows they're stacked on A, so it should have been like the okay to try and get a bomb plant here. But it's Gunless calling in the bombardment, which actually finds Attach and Enable. Can they answer back? Not yet. It's Clay. He's already got some big plays under his belt. Oh my God, he lets them pass. They're all in front. He has to win the first when he gets turned on. E United do it. You thought for a second maybe Clay can get a sneaky play there from behind, but he just gets gunned.
Yeah, now Gunless using a nice job with his streaks there towards the later half of the game. We talked about a lot of Clay streaks, though, with the bombardment and Trinity Rocket. Gunless comes up with a big kills with streaks of his own.
You get, what, 2 bombardment kills from either player. Also a Trinity Rocket kill from Gunless. Gunless has the 1v3 with the camo.
That was the round. The 1v3 with the camo was the round, because he gets the streaks off of that round as well.
It seemed like Gunless versus Clay at times, didn't it? Just those 2 players go. You have maybe the breakout superstar, the up and coming player in Gunless. You have one of the all-time greats in Clay. watching them go up against each other was truly a treat.
And I feel like this really isn't for E United. It's not about FaZe versus E United. It's about E United versus everybody. Because I feel like a lot of the talk coming into this and a lot of the talk from the players has been,